to pass the mic to Alma. She's going to introduce our lovely guest. Alma, who
Yes.
we got with us?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be introducing our special guest. We want to welcome Miss Kumi to Mad Music Podcast. Yay! And so I'm just going to quickly introduce her because I know we're going to get into your background and your story. But Miss Kumi is an Afro and R&B artist from Atlanta with Ghanaian roots. So shout out. Shout out. She's described herself, her music as harmonious, blend of Afro-inspired melodies and the timeless essence of R&B, which I think honestly is a lovely and spot on description based off of what we've heard. So without further ado, welcome Miss Kumi.
Welcome. Our first artist interview, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
That makes me happy. Thank you guys for having me.
You're so welcome. How you feeling today? How you doing?
I feel great. I feel very honored to be in y'all's presence, to be able to introduce because I already listened to you. So that makes it already very helpful and very comfortable. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to answer questions.
Yay!
Yes, it's gonna be fun. Yes.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start from the beginning, Miss Kumi. How did you get your start in music? How did you become Miss Kumi?
That is such a great question. So I got my start in music. This is so interesting. I was 4 years old and I was offered to sing it was like a family event. And in that moment, even at 4, so like I think what's interesting when you don't really remember things that happened to you at a young age unless they're significant. And that was a significant thing that happened to me that then carried with me at 4. I started writing music when I was around 10. I started writing music.
Wow.
I didn't know it was music because I didn't know what a beat was. I didn't know anything. So I took like sounds I would hear on the radio, create my own melodies. So essentially music without a beat is like poetry. So I would always say like I really started just writing stuff and being a poet. And they were all R&B based. Like of course I knew I had my culture, but being born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, I grew up on the Whitneys and the Mary J. Blige. And I grew up listening to them and African music. But it was just R&B kind of became like they're always telling a love story. I want to be a part of the love story. And they are who raised me a lot. So I think the main thing was getting my start of being a singer really young and not knowing that I would be a singer, but I was always turned to music. And then the Miss Kumi came from, that's literally my last name. So I said, Stephanie is my first name, but it wasn't unique. And I felt like you're unique. You are a Ghanaian woman. You're from Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to blend everything together. What would be unique to you? And you would never feel like, I'm tired of that name. Let me just change it. And then I was like, your last name. No one knows what that really means here. So your last name. So I went and started off by just Kumi. So if people were talking to me, I get introduced as Kumi as if that's my first name. Then as I grew, like last year, the Kumi, other people had that name. So I was like, you're not unique no more. So what you gonna put? Lady, girl, madam.
Madam Kumi.
Okay. The most sense. So I was just like, oh, just put Miss in front of your name. There's a UK artist. Her name is like Miss Banks. And I was like, what's an artist that like it will stick with me? Like, no matter what. So I just said, just add the Miss to the Kumi. So it's only you when people search that name. And that's how we got Miss Kumi.
I love that.
I love it.
It's respectful. Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I was
every time.
Literally, I was like, girl, you sing R&B. You're not a rapper. It don't need to be Lil Kumi.
Not Lil Kumi.
Like none of that. Like you're a singer. Just put Miss and close the Spotify. Like that's it. Like that's it. So I just stuck to the Miss because I was like, it's respectable. It could take it anywhere. That's how
Did it take you a minute to like get to Miss Kumi, or were you like, I'm just gonna do this? Like
it was like the only reason it took me a minute because I was like, that's now going to permanently, like, you're going to have to stick with the Miss part, and you've only been introducing yourself as Kumi. But the reason I was okay with going with it, because it's my actual last name.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, even on paper, I would literally be Miss Kumi. And
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
That's
married.
true.
And I said, babes, Missy Elliott got the MISS. You won't keep it cute. You're going to keep it short. And you're just
Right.
going to do the Miss.
You're right.
And I was like, even if I was to get married, the Miss is my maiden name. So it can
Yeah.
always be
Oh,
the Miss
yeah.
Kumi. So I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like,
I love
stick with
that.
something that is timeless. And that's how I stuck on it.
I love that.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
I love
Yes.
that.
Absolutely.
That's
and you
dope.
keep
It is-
keeping your family name in it. I love that as
Yeah.
well.
Exactly.
Keep the
And
family
I told myself
name.
that I wanted to be very Kim K to the world. Like, I don't care who I marry. This is my name. This is my name. So I told
Period.
myself, like, even if you got married today, how would you keep the Kumi? And it was sticking to it being my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that, because not only you stick to your roots, stick it to your name.
Exactly.
You were thinking about your brand early on. Like,
Mhm.
you know how some artists, they'll change their name all the time, and it's like, well, if you thought about it early on,
you wouldn't have went through. And you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
I say, like, the Twitter expect. Who calls it X? I don't know what an X
Not
is.
us.
I know.
Twitter, because you
Twitter.
should have thought of your brand. You should have
Yeah.
thought of your
Right.
brand.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just like things like that make me be like, okay, let's, like you said, let me stick to what would be original to me all the time.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
timeless. Yeah, like you said.
It
Yeah.
definitely is timeless. So you said
Thank
your
you.
earliest memory was 4 and you started
4.
writing at 10. So
Yes.
I know sometimes, especially like in the Black community, be like the parents be like, you can go study science and law. Did you have support when you were younger, or did you have to like convince your parents that like this is legitimate?
Very 50-50. And this is why I say
Mm.
they were like, oh my God, we love that you sing. Go to school. Like, let's
Exactly.
Exactly.
like, go to school. So I actually graduated from Georgia State University. Both, I have 2 degrees, one in business marketing and one in
Period.
business management.
Period.
I have
Period.
like a regular 9 to 5, but I told myself, before I went to college, I was like, okay, what would help you still market yourself as a musician?
It
Go
makes
to school
sense.
for marketing.
Yeah.
Why do you need to and then I think a lot of times musicians, we don't know the business side, how to work with people, how to market people.
Say that.
So I found a way to make college work for me. And I didn't like college. So I told myself, you got 4 years to get in and out. You're going to get in and out in 4 years. And if you can do it, then you always have it. So it's actually, they were super supportive in the sense of like, we support your dreams, but when you're 16, you're not going to tell your parents, hey, yeah, I'm not going to college and this and that.
Yeah.
African parents,
Yeah, no,
you're
yeah,
going.
It won't. It won't
that.
happen.
You're going. And I think the way my parents are supported because they incentivize, like they created a place of respect for them. They were like, we'll pay for you to go to college. If what's holding you back is you don't have time, you don't feel like paying for it, they paid for me to go to college. They
Wow.
were supportive for everything I did. Instead of like, they made sure to take out loans to help me finish and go to college. I have 3 siblings. They paid for every single one of us to go.
God
Because
bless.
they said,
Come on, parents.
So it made me actually have a really close relationship with my parents. They support, they listen to the music. I can tell
That's
them
good.
like, hey, I really want to do this. They will funnel it because I kept my promise to them of like, I will finish school, I will finish in my 4 years and I will get a job. So now my 9 to 5 is just support my passion. Like to talk to y'all, my 9 to 5 supports things to like to talk to y'all. That's
Period.
Yeah.
We understand that.
It's nothing, yeah, look, same.
We understand that. Trust me.
Same. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like,
Nope.
especially in like the West African culture, and I mean, I guess in any immigrants,
Absolutely.
you kind of have to, again, you prove yourself, right? It's like, lucky in your case, your parents believed in you from the beginning, but some parents are not like that. Some parents are like, look, you need to show me some profit. You need to show me what your fans are looking like. You need to show me you on the Billboard charts.
100%.
And there is no like timing of that, right? Some people will get their first hit right away. Some people will take some years. Some people will never happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's a beautiful thing that your parents are supporting it from the beginning, and very smart of you also to still have something back. And also like the fact that business marketing is major, is key in what you're trying to do as your passion project, eventually turn into a full-time, career. So I mean, again, you've been thinking beyond the horizon.
Long term.
Yeah,
Again, long term.
exactly. And I told myself, even if I didn't make it in singing, I would want to be in a singing world. So if that was managing a studio, if that was being somebody else's manager, but my credentials needed to speak for them, because why would an artist even be like, why would you manage me? And it's like, well, I have this degree and I've been doing this for years and I sing too, and now we're here. So I thought of my backup having a backup to the backup.
Period.
That was my plan.
Period.
Love that.
Yeah. But you were given a space to be able to do that, and it's truly a blessing.
Absolutely.
It's truly a blessing.
Yes, because everybody doesn't get that. Yeah, that's so true. And it's very nice to hear, like, you know, that there are some West African parents that are just like, okay, go to school. But we also support this, because sometimes it's usually like, no, you're going to school.
Completely. Completely. So I got really lucky in the sense of, I have parents that trust me. That's actually what worked out for me.
Big one.
Like, if they trusted me to, like, you're gonna sing because we know for a fact you'll graduate. Like, like, we know it's like, yeah, you can do this because we're gonna support it because we trust you. And I think the last thing is they instilled a level of discipline for me. Like, to this point, I've done everything to myself, not have management, not have marketing, but push my own thing. So they're like, oh, you serious for real? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it. So I think what also made them trust me was showing them that I trust myself. And it really helped them be like, well, she's not joking. So we might as well see how we can support this. So to this day, my parents are really, really supportive, and it's made a really healthy relationship.
I love that a lot.
That's beautiful.
Too.
That's definitely beautiful.
Yes.
Gosh.
So you said you're independent artist, right? So you're doing everything yourself. Is there like a dream record label that you want to be a part of, or like somebody that you're, you know, now that you have like the business management behind you, and you know these jokers can't dupe you, they can't fool you. Is there anybody that you're like, I can handle being on this label?
So this is such a great question. I do not see myself ever fully signing to a label. I see a few things for myself. Staying independent, but signing a distribution deal. So meaning a deal that you guys are just pushing out my music for me, but I need to be myself. And then 2, signing a management deal. So I can answer that question. The management team that would be a dream team is Rock Nation.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, we know why.
Yes.
So many great artists.
I was wondering if she was going to say that.
Megan Thee Stallion, yes.
I think they're the heavy hitters of heavy hitters. Like, if I had a distribution deal, but their management, I don't really see why this day and age I would need to like sign y'all my life. Like, here's my masters, here's signing off, I think that I would have like, they would see, okay, you get millions of streams. How can we manage you and put you in the right rooms? Rock Nation is who I would see myself. And I love my girl, Beyonce and Bag. And so
Yes.
They are what really helped me. And then kind of just seeing Meg's story too. And then her seeing support, even though, and another thing, lastly, they're like quiet supporters. They don't need to be loud. Like, they're not a team that needs to be loud. Like, you hear, they're managed by Rock Nation. It's like, all right.
It speaks for themselves.
So I think that was kind of like that's like a dream brand.
Ooh, I love that.
It can happen. It can happen.
Yes, it will. It will.
Yeah, that's like very like an ideal setup where you can literally like manage your music and own all your stuff, but then have other people that can focus on other things like the distribution, right? Like, getting it out there, like that is a hefty task.
So ideal.
To give that to somebody else, that's fine. But the creative process, music, that's all mine.
All mine. All my masters, and I don't have to worry about fighting about who owns what and when it's sampling and
what I've also seen, like, you can sign deals, but like it kind of takes away from the artist. Y'all probably seen artists who are like, I love the old version. And it's like, they don't get to choose.
It's all about control.
So I think I think that distribution, just that management deal would make me authentic to myself. And that's why I would pick that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you know what? I think it's cool because we've heard time and time again about up-and-coming artists that will sign quickly to a deal, and it's like eyes closed 360 deal. They're desperate, or they feel like they won't have another opportunity like this to come up, and then they're stuck, and they've been stuck for years, up to 10 years, and they have to give the label 3, 4, 5 albums. They're not making money, they don't have any control about what type of music they can make. And I feel like
or they're in court all the time.
Or they're in court all the time about the masters. They can't have a say as to who can sample their music.
Yeah.
So I think it's really smart that a lot of artists now, they are really looking into, okay, what type of deal do I want? I don't want a 360 deal. I want a certain type, and I'm not going to sign unless I get that.
Yeah, and I think that is what's really been able to change the game for artists. I think if I was going to sign a deal, I would really, me and my lawyer it would look at the deal. But I also think you made a great point of like, there's two different things about being a desperate artist and a hungry artist. So try to like be a hungry artist. You're hungry for it, you want it, but desperate is like, that's what makes you start signing things and taking and accepting things that like you could have thought more about. So even when I see great opportunities, I just tell myself like, okay, this is a great stepping stone. God brought you this far. Be hungry for it, but don't be desperate for it.
Yeah. Understood.
It kind of reminds me of like, and saying what we were saying with your parents, like you think about like these kids who are like in sports and stuff, and they're really good at football, they're really good at basketball, and like they're really good at it, and that's kind of all they know. And like, and the parents are like, but you still need to get your education, right? You still need to have something to fall back on. I feel like, and then a lot of times, a lot of them don't necessarily, some of them don't finish school, or they're drafted before they finish. And then if they don't have a long career in the NFL, or something happens, they get hurt, you start hearing all these stories about getting arrested for fraud and other crimes being committed because they kind of like, they're lost. They don't really have anything to fall back on because they just invested so much into their sport, but never thought of what happens if this is no longer here.
So, or they're taking advantage of,
or they're taking advantage of, because they just don't know how the business is run. And music business is very similar. Like a lot of these artists, like all they do is their art, right? They don't always have something to fall back on, and people definitely take advantage of the artists who are a little bit in a more desperate situation. So you are already checked off so many boxes.
I be keeping, my favorite artist is Rihanna, and I be keeping her.
Yes.
One thing about Rihanna, this Fenty, that. I said, yes, I live. She woke up one morning and said, I will always make money. I don't know what y'all are gonna do. Period. Will be making money. And she is like my inspiration, and it makes me have other businesses. Like on the side, I own a hair business, so I'm wearing my hair for my company. I own a hair business, so it has made me like, we're going through rebranding and stuff. So things like that make me be like, do other things you love. So outside of music, do other things you love, because you made that great point of when you're so stuck on this tunnel vision, it makes you not open up to things. And that's what tells me like, Rihanna gonna open a Fenty factory of every single thing. And it's all like beauty based. And she's like my inspiration and what's made me think outside the box as an artist, for sure.
Two things then off of that. What's the name of your hair company again? Like, did you say?
It's called Sax Beauty. And the reason it's called Sax, Sask. My full name is Stephanie Abanasewa Kumi. That is my initial.
Yes. Is it Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday.
I know a little.
We culture here. We culture here.
Listen, I'm fully Black, Negro, but I have beautiful West African friends who have taught me so much. So yes, I know a little.
Right. That's amazing. So it's my full name, so Sax Beauty, and it just made me think like beauty is my other love. So I found different ways to like start small, and I was like, what do you love the most in beauty? And it was hair. So it makes me just open my mind to, there's not one avenue to show your passion. So
of course,
I made sure to like do that. Like if it's a photo shoot, I'm wearing my hair. If it's a music video, I'm wearing my hair. Come on, marketing.
As you should.
Come on, marketing. So I always tell myself like, what would Rihanna do? She would have started the business.
Right.
So
right.
I love that.
So it has definitely inspired me.
Love that.
I love that.
And then my other question is, how do you feel about Kiss It Better from Anne?
Wait a minute. I
was like, what? You talking about
How do I feel? I love it. You don't like that song?
No.
Oh, baby.
You love that song.
Yes.
I just want to know how you felt.
Bro, I'm biased. You can't be asking me no questions. I'll be like, that's a hit, and I don't know why it doesn't have a Grammy. Honestly, I feel like
it's a great song.
She was subbed so much.
Listen.
You hear me?
Listen,
Anything.
listen.
Like I'll be ready for anything she does. I'm ready for Fenty TV. I'll be like, Emmy.
Right.
Emmy.
Fancy furniture.
Fenty furniture.
I just had to bring that up because
But-
Dom and I love Kissing Better. Like that went triple platinum in our cars.
Yep.
Diamond.
Triple
Diamond
diamond
in the car.
Yeah, in the car. You know, it's worldwide in my car, and Rome
Yep.
is high. Like, yeah, no, I just had to ask.
That's an important question. That is vital.
But it makes me think about something else though. So we're talking about songs, right? So what's your songwriting process? What does it look like?
Yes, so that's a great question. So I usually work with my producer who is like a beat maker and things like that. So I work with my producer and I tell them a theme I want. So my song process is find a theme. So I always say like, do you want to be on a beach? Do you want to be in a lounge? Do you want calming, relaxing, driving music? So then he'll give me a beat that sounds like, okay, this is what I would play late night coming home. I've had the best night of my life. Or this is what I would play on my way to go out. So the first thing I do is try to actually find a theme. After I find a theme and a beat that aligns with that, I try to place myself there. Meaning, is this the past, present, or future me? So
okay.
I don't have a lot of romantic like experiences to sing about, but I make
you just need one, honestly.
Right.
I got 10 different stories.
Listen.
So I make music, I would say, for like the romantics, for the lover girls, for the lover boys. So that's what made me be an R&B artist. On the other hand, I like to make music like the song I have called Plenty Money, make music for like inspiring yourself, like big up in yourself. Like you have money, you're a premium person. So either I'm singing about love or like loving yourself type of thing. That's what I try to get.
Okay.
So after I find like the theme of what I want to sing for, I play the beat and put myself there. And I try not to write anything at first. I say, what would you say if you were in that moment? So if I'm in a lounge or I'm coming back from a great night out with my girls, what would I say? Or it's a first date, what would I say? So I think of all the words I say. I go back to the 10-year-old me and I write poetry. So I'm just writing like, what would you say? And then I try to like then match up words to that. How does things rhyme? How would things feel together? And I try to be a storyteller. I think the artists that inspire me are storytellers. I feel like, yeah, I'm in the scene. I'm with you. Like, and I hear, for example, when I hear Brandy and I hear Monica, you already telling me a story. Like, this is where I'm at. So that's kind of where I feel like what the music inspired me and my writing process, like finding a theme, being in the setting, then writing. So I feel like it makes it authentic. It doesn't feel like force these words because you like the beat. It's more like I'm there in that setting myself. So that's definitely what helps me write music.
I love that too.
I love that. And I know we're gonna go into the music, but like it's funny that you did say that like you have to picture yourself in that setting and like you'll tell your producer like, okay, I want to feel like this. And then you start writing, and then you'll see if it can incorporate into the production. Because when I heard the song For You, I said, "Oh, I feel that setting. Like it's very sensual." And I was like, "Okay, so you just talking about the process." I'm like, "Okay, it matches up to what you have out right now."
It does.
It translates very well.
I always have to feel like I'm in the setting. So there'll be times I scrap a song completely because it doesn't feel like authentic to me. Like, do you feel this? Do I want to hear this? Is there something that I would play more than twice? So when it came to like For You, it was very making a song. Like it's for you because I made the song for this person. Like if I was singing to this person, what would I say? And then I would tell them like, I made this song for you. And I called it that. And that's what made me go into singing about it. That's why it's a more sensual, romantic song.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I really like it.
It is a lovely song. How did you find like your voice? Like, cause I know different artists have different ways of how they like to sing. There's some people who like to sing softly. There's some people who like to belt out songs. Like, how did you come and you were like, I like this about my voice, so I'm going to stay here. This is my pocket.
I love that question. I actually found my voice due to how I wanted my brand to be. And this is how I would I actually have a very low register alto. Think of Jasmine Sullivan and Adele. Had an African baby. That's like low register. I am a very low register.
Adele would love that.
Right. Okay. She showing what?
I
mean, it might come.
So I had to then tell my voice, like, it was coming across on the mic very like loud and aggressive, but I didn't actually want to get that sound. So I
Okay.
then had to incorporate, what would your brand be? And I felt like, be poised, be elegant, be feminine. So I made my voice, even though it's a lower register, a softer version
It
of that.
is.
And I kept
Yeah.
practicing singing softly. So it's like, even
Wow.
how you describe the song as sensual, it's because my voice has been practiced to sound like that. So even if things aren't, so I don't want to ever say sex. So let's say you were like, it gives sex. I'd be like, girl, I will take down everything that you put on there right now. If it gives that, it's supposed to just give a sensual, savory moment type of thing. Because I practiced like the softness in my voice. So it went from, I was like, okay, you got the Jasmine Sullivan, the Adele's, but then you have the Janae Aiko's and the Keilanis. They have this softer register in their voice, and that's the ambiance you wanted people to feel when they listen to you. So finding my voice was a lot of practice. I could not get it. A lot of like my old songs that I scrapped, they sound not like the feminine or approach I wanted. And I also think we must be realistic. Like, as a Black dark-skinned woman, I didn't want to get aggressive. She's just too aggressive, and it just
Understood.
comes across too much. So I trained myself to like sing what was comfortable with me, sing of like, you want to come across poised and more elegant. How should you sing that feels comfortable? So I still sing in that low register, but practice the like softness in my voice to sing.
Yeah. I see that. I hear it.
I
Yeah.
It's
had to
definitely
practice
soft.
that.
Did it
No,
take
you
a lot of
sound really good.
restraint?
Yeah, you said, did it take a lot of?
A restraint, like to just like
Yes.
pull
It
back.
feels like, have you ever heard a British actor, like they can have like an American accent, and like it's like you're training your voice to act always in a certain singing way.
Okay.
That's what it feels like all the
Wow.
time. Like you're training to act in a
That's so
certain
interesting.
way of your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I wonder if anyone else approaches like their like tone from a branding perspective, because when you said that, then I started thinking about singers, and I think about like how we talk about singers even on the podcast. We talk about them like their tone, like how they sing is their brand to
Is their
us.
brand.
Like
Yeah.
some of them are loud and like they're like aggressive.
Yeah.
I won't name any names.
Jennifer
But some of them,
I
and
will.
some of them are quieter, and so you
And Holiday.
associate their voice with
With their
them.
voice. No, like
Yeah.
a perfect example.
Huh.
Have you heard Ariana Grande sing? She
Yeah.
has a soft, calm. Even when she talks in her interviews, it's branded to be
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
You're right.
you have to always think like, I'm in an interview, I'm then singing like this, then it needs to come across like, it's a whole thing.
That's a
And
good
I have
point.
to tell
That's a good
myself,
point.
like,
Yeah.
they are branding themselves to have this calmer, softer voice. Or
Right.
some artists that sound more Southern. If you hear Lotto rap, she's from Atlanta. You hear, I'm from Atlanta, because that's the brand. It needs to come across that. I think in the singers, we kind of have to do that. It took me a while to learn it. And then I had to tell myself, like, train yourself how you would show up and how you would sing. And then it kind of became authentic and practicing to yourself, because like you have the voice, but the same way of like, you have to go to the gym to maintain your body. You have to keep to maintain that sound. And that's what's helped me. And I think a lot of artists, it's from a branding standpoint. Their
That
voice
makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Especially you bring up the example of Ariana Grande and where she came from. She came from Nickelodeon, and like the TV show the actress Ariana Grande is much different than the singer Ariana Grande. And like they have two totally different voices. Like she put on an actual voice on the show that she was on in Nickelodeon. So yeah, that's I listen, we love the behind the scenes.
Right.
We in this girl.
Right. Wait, so as a follow-up then, have you ever performed live? And if you did perform like for the first time, was it a struggle trying to get into that pocket again with the tone?
Oh, it absolutely was a struggle. And I still give myself grace to this day. So it's a struggle because, okay, you have completely different voices. Like, have you ever recorded a video, you hear your voice back and you're like, why would I sound like that?
Every
As
week.
an artist, you have to literally, you have to train your ear to not have the ick of like your own voice. So it's like, I heard my recording voice and then I heard a live recording voice and was like, practice singing live. Like you need to hold a mic and sing live back to yourself. So yeah, it threw me for a loop the first time. And then I got used to it. But also when you record and you put out a song, there's different versions of a song. There's actually a performance version. So artists, when you're about to perform, you have a performance version of the song of how you're most comfortable singing live. Then you have a studio version. So once they finish the song, I will have two different versions. One that you hear on Apple Music and then one that you would hear in a performance. So the places that are, if it's a high note and I get weaker there, then you would hear the background of kind of like my song to help me and encourage me. What makes the most difficult is a live band. Those you're trained with that. So I would then be working with the band, training with them. Also, mics are set up for different vocals.
Gotcha.
So if you're a soprano, if you're an alto, you'll have a mic that's set in your tone to help you. So there's ways to help you and then like to grow into it eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I'm learning a lot.
A lot that goes into that, though.
It's a
But
lot.
honestly, I respect the effort that you're putting into it, because often we see these singers, especially live, and I'd be like, damn, did they
What's going on?
practice?
Yeah.
Wrong mic. Just
Wrong
it literally
mic.
it's like you are a
So it
soprano.
was
They're
the
giving
mic.
you the
Okay.
wrong mic. Yes, a lot of times it actually
I'm
can be
gonna
people's mic.
make note of that.
Give y'all. Was it
Because Marsha at the BET Awards, I don't know if that
Ooh,
might have
wrong
been wrong
mic.
mic.
Wrong mics. Like your mic can throw you off. And then you're so used to practicing with something else, you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Wrong
All
mic.
right. We'll be
You have to
nicer.
be in
All right, we'll give grace.
Grace.
Speaking of giving grace and like going through, being an independent artist and like learning your voice and accepting it, like what are some of the difficulties that you faced already in your career and like how have you like overcome them? And if you're still going through it, like how do you feel like you're going to overcome them?
Yeah. So this is so good. Expectations. And when I say that, I've worked with a marketing team who has been very helpful. Like they're putting me in here's this PR person, here's this ads person. So expectations of myself and others. So you have to keep in mind when you are an artist, people have known you your whole life. My first time dropping a song was, I believe, 6 years ago. Up to that, people have known me my whole life, never knew me putting out music. I'm just in college with them. You have this expectation of everyone will be supportive.
Yeah.
You have an expectation of I put out this song, a bomb gonna go off, and it's the best thing that's happened. I'm gonna get signed today. I'm getting 2 million streams, babes. You gonna get 2.
Yeah.
Grateful for the 2. You like
what? I'm thinking that because I'm like, oh my God, like you listen to me. So it's like you have your mind of expectations must like come to a stop, but you're so used to what success looks like before an artist. I went to college. I knew I'm gonna go for 4 years. I'll graduate. I'll get my degree. I try hard enough. I'll get a job. With the artist, you never know when you're going to be successful. We're talking today. My song can blow tomorrow on TikTok, and I'm a whole like the person you talk to today is a whole different person. So I think expectations is the biggest challenge. You are going to expect people to support. You're going to expect to blow. You're going to expect to get opportunities. And my relationship with Christ is actually what's brought me here. God is very like, let me tell you something. I'm going to be in control today and tomorrow. So you're going to do whatever you want to do and put out whatever you want to put out. But it has combated the relationship with God has helped me deal with expectations because then I don't feel like I'm missing out on opportunities. I think that I'm here with the right people at the right time and who supports me, pour into them. Who shows up to me, pour into them. Who does reach out for my music, who does respond to emails, show up for that. So I think combating expectations is being very present. That's definitely what's helped me.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah, you were talking, it was making me think of like, look at an artist like Victoria Monet.
Come on now.
She's been around for a while.
She was writing dreams for like work with Beyonce for 10 years. A decade of putting in work. Come on.
Like your song is blowing up with other people and you're like, yeah, I could do that. Like that's my song. I've sung the song so that they can sing it. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So it's she had, and then her staying true to herself, her staying in her lane, her staying focused on her relationship with God is putting her where she is now. So things like that is just an inspiration. And then as an up and coming artist, seeing Victoria Monet and seeing artists like that, it just makes me think like, okay, I can do it too.
Yeah,
because they kept going. So of course, having those thoughts, like even though it's not right now, that doesn't mean delay is not denied. So
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And you're doing all of the right things too, so you know it's coming.
Exactly. The recipe is there. You got it.
Thank
And
you.
I think it's important to remember that, because in this age of social media, where like you said, you drop a song today and it'll be a hit tomorrow because someone picks up on it, make a TikTok dance, or just start promoting it heavily. And it's like, back in the day, it wasn't like that. Back in the day, it was slow burn. Like, you had to work hard to get your single out.
Had to push it out.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to push it out. You had to go to different radio stations and tell them, like, yo, like, play this song. So you have to remember that that's still another path that artists could take.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Well, who are some of your like inspirations? I know you talked about Rihanna being a big Rihanna fan, but who other than like Whitney, and who are some of the other artists that you like?
So old school artists, like I said, the Whitney, Mariah Carey, but I also saw some of the new girls are really big inspirations to me. On the R&B side, Ari Lennox is a very big inspiration to me.
Yes.
And Summer Walker's music, and the reason why is they tell stories. I feel like you can keep playing that music and be like, I was with her in the studio. I believe that she is talking about me. They inspire me just because they're storytellers. And then on the Afro side, Arya Starr, she's so young. She's like 21. She's warming up. She did a collab with Coldplay. It's just kind of like things like that. It's like, are you kidding me? And then Thames. I think Thames, and the reason for Thames is she portrays what I would want to come across as an artist. Like I said, I don't like. She's known as a very sensual, but not sex. Like she covered music, and I see women like that. It makes me feel like, okay, I don't have to show my body all the time to the world, and then people will buy. So I think I take tidbits of different artists, and that makes me feel like, okay, I'm inspired. So the R&B girlies I've been listening to so much lately, I would say Ari Lennox is a big inspiration, and Ari Lennox, like years ago, would go on lives and just be herself.
Yeah,
I missed that. I missed that.
What are you doing here, Ari? Like, where are you going talking to us?
I missed it.
And things like that as an artist makes me feel like you just dropped a huge hit with Dreamville.
But she's so relatable.
So relatable.
So relatable.
Yeah.
So that authenticity makes me feel like even if I was to blow today, I can be myself. I don't have to be a bit to what the idea of how I think an artist is. So that's really definitely inspirations like that.
Yeah.
Those are good.
For sure.
No, Ari's their girl. They love some Ari. So
it's my sister. It's my sister.
Just like you said, like I felt like, because Shea Butter Baby new apartment. I literally got a new apartment not too long after that came out, and I was like, yes, Ari, like you definitely gave it. Like, love that. So can't complain with all the inspirations you got. Lastly, before we get into the music, what are some of your like music goals? What are some of your dreams, like things you want to accomplish?
So one of my biggest dreams, of course, to be a superstar, but also in a sense I want my music to take me high enough that I'm actually an advocate. So I want to give back to people. So if that looks like going back to Ghana, giving back to people, giving to people here, I want to be a very community-based artist. I want to be one of the artists that is like, let's say a hurricane was happening and I'm in the community. I have enough finances and resources to give back to people. I'm able to talk to Black women about mental health. I want to be an artist that kind of makes a change or respect it. So I want my music my biggest goal for my music is to connect with people, connect with artists, tell a story, and kind of stay humble in my way. I don't want to get Hollywood to the point people feel like they can't connect with me. And I hope that my music it really gets to a place that I can do speakings to people and I can support. I think the women in my life, my mom's a nurse, my sister's a lawyer, and my younger sister is in medical school to be a brain surgeon. So they
Period.
at Yale.
Even better. Come on,
the women around me have always given back to other people.
And
it's like my sister wants to eventually be an immigration lawyer. So I just have seen like
I love that.
Give back, like kind of give yourself. So within music, I kind of want to be that artist. Like you're an advocate for women. You're talking to women. You want them to be healthy, and mental health is a really big thing to me. So being a superstar, yes, getting the accolades, but more important on a deeper level, people feel like I can relate and build a community with them.
Love that.
Love that.
faithful.
You're on the right track, girl.
Definitely on the right track.
Yes.
Right.
Let's get into some of these songs now. Let's talk about the music, as Gorilla would say. Okay, what's the first song you wanted to talk about today?
Yes, so I can start with Closer because that's the oldest song. Look me deep in my eyes, I slow my wine. Take it back, baby, time to time. Legs shaking over my shoulder. Pull me in, hold me closer. Baby, look at 555. Take me to the back one time. Hurry for your girlfriend coming. Show me that you want my loving. Baby, look at 555. So Closer is a very like sexy song, and it's actually the old me. So the more grown me like actually would not sing like this. So it brings me back to like I was in a space of finding my voice. So when we talked about finding my voice, but what I love is I always talk about Closer because I was on the right path. That voice that I was in, the sensual space of being a lover girl, and when I dropped that song, it made me feel like I was on the right path. So it's one of my oldest favorite songs, because I feel like Closer is about literally a romantic couple getting intimate, getting closer, learning each other, but not per se it has to be again like super sex like, but I like to get closer to a person like with your mind. How can we emotionally get together, which brought Closer about. And Closer is a complete freestyle song. I love yes, I literally freestyle because I have a makeshift studio at my home, so I just sang Closer. After I sang Closer, then I wrote it down, but in the moment it was very authentic. So I love Closer.
Wow. The talent.
Wow.
The talent.
Okay. Did I hear you say something about, hurry up for the girl come back and Closer? Did I hear you say something about that? That was freestyle.
Yeah, I heard that too.
What that was
you remember when I started this? I was like, I would never say that to this day.
Yeah.
There's a part of like legs over shoulder. I said, "Who?"
Yes.
Like I would never say that. It's so funny. So it's like singing it and hearing it back was like, you was on the right track, but girl, you celebrated a year and a half now. Like, where were you going?
Listen,
I'm cracking up.
You got to get it out somehow. You gotta
get it out.
That was your release.
Get it out.
And it's so funny because future self, do you think I've had such a great experience? No. And now here we are.
Gosh.
And
That
it's
is so funny.
like you would never say that. You literally, a man have a girlfriend, you running away. And I was like, you can say to the music, you fine.
Have grace for the past self.
Have grace. Why would you say that?
And look, and you're also young. The mindset when you're young is a little different.
Different.
Totally fine.
Different life. Because that came out 2016 or 2018?
I think 29. No, I think that's like a 2020.
Okay.
Like 4 years ago.
Yes. You get past.
COVID brain.
I was just about to say anything near COVID does not really.
Yeah. It don't count.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Different times we didn't know if we was gonna live to see another day.
Right.
So
Come closer. Like
I can understand the leg on the shoulder. That I get it.
Literally. I cut out that part. I hope I have a part that's not too bad when y'all play it.
It's okay. It's okay. I caught you. No,
I mean,
to be honest, when I was listening to the song, I said, to me, it sounded like
legendary.
Right. Right. To me, it sounded like I'm in a club and like I see a fine man and maybe like his girlfriend wants to get a drink or something like that.
It does
start
like
dancing. Right. You start slow whining. You be like, because I heard you was like, like it's kind of like, show me the actions. Like you can say whatever you want, but I need the action.
Yeah.
You get it. I was in a lounge setting when I made that song.
See?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's how I got there. Absolutely.
I felt that
vibe.
Yeah. Love it. And what's another song that you wanted to mention?
So the last song I would mention is For You. That is my newest song. If for you, no matter what you do, hold me tight. Oh, come save me, take me, come my way. No complaints when falling for you, my baby. Take me. I made that in the studio with my producer. He made the beat from scratch in front of me, sang the song in front of me
Oh, wow.
together.
I love that.
And so I love that song for you because me and him have been working together since my first, one of my first songs that I put out. So I feel like that song was very much growth. For you is very lover girl, very like romantic, very singing poetry. And I think my music going forward will be very like love letters. So that was like a love letter to a romantic partner, future self that I will have one day.
Yes. Yes.
So
Claim it, claim
it's
it.
very like definitely a romantic time. The whole idea of For You is saying to my partner that I'm tired of the streets. I made this song for you. Take me out of the streets. So a part of the song, it repeats and says, save me. And that's me saying, save me from the streets. I want to be out of here.
Okay.
I know that's right.
Save me from
Come on now.
I know that's right.
That's why.
I love that.
And I think all my music is very like, I try to say it in a poetic way. So it's like, okay, you understand it. But when I break it down, it's like, it's just like, I just don't want to be in the streets, child. Let's just say this.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of songwriting, though.
That's the beauty of songwriting.
That
so
is.
definitely For You is what's made me happy. That's my most recent.
Oh,
I like it. It's very much slowed down compared to your up tempo with Closer, and it gives me like song that you play on the sunset cruise. You know, you coming back and you just you know you on the boat, you on the net of the boat, and you just looking at the sunset as you coming to shore. That's the type of song that you play. I feel like I should be on a tropical water somewhere.
That is accurate because that song visuals were done when I was in Barbados. I went to Barbados.
Didn't even know.
Yes.
Wow.
So the entire idea of the song was what is a sunset summery beach vibe.
I felt it.
And that is how the song came
I felt it. I didn't even know. I didn't see it. I just listened. That's it.
See, Miss Kumi, that says a lot. It says a lot for both Closer and For You.
Yeah.
We already know what you were talking about.
We feel you, girl.
Yeah.
We felt the vibe.
Happy.
Yeah.
I put in my notes. I was like, dreamy, calming, like relaxed vibes.
Like the visuals were on me on a beach in Barbados. I was with like my partner at the time. He took some of like the behind the scenes, and then it all came about. That's how I
we're gonna have to watch that then.
So
yes,
you guys are very on point. For
yes. I love it. Look at the smile on her face. I love it.
Yes,
I love
it.
Look, do you have? Awesome. We always ask, do you have any honorable mentions? Any ones you want us to go back and listen to? Deep cuts, you know?
Okay, so I would actually, my most honorable mention is my first Afro song was put out in 2019, and it's called Premium. So it is your girl's night out saying, I'm a premium babe. I want the best for me. I make money. And the reason was, it was my first Afro song, first upbeat song. And to this day, it's one of the highest streaming songs I have.
Come on,
so Premium. That's my baby. My 2019 baby was the first Afro song I put out. So I would say Premium. And then more music to come out. I'm very excited. I am going to put out probably new music in September around Labor Day, holiday time. And that will give, late summer, nighttime vibes. So more music to come.
Love it.
Yes,
and hopefully a project, but I have been in a great space with music and being able to really sit and be secure in my sound has been able to bring the best music I've put out. For sure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. Take your time, baby. Take your time.
We here, we waiting.
Right. Oh man, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for like the behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Like we have truly enjoyed learning more about you, Miss Kumi, and learning more about your music and like how you come up with it. Is there anything on your heart or mind you want to get off? Anything else?
Yes. So on my heart and mind is to say thank you to you all. You guys are doing an amazing job. I am so proud of you. Women who want to give back, women who want to talk about music. The podcast is amazing. And I pray blessings on y'all and that you guys are successful.
We receive it.
Thank you.
All I have to say is thank you for having me. That's it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Listen,
This was
the sky's
amazing.
the limit for you, girl. You got this.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right there supporting you as well.
Cheering you on.
Don't forget about us.
Don't forget
when you
Not at all. Oh, wait. Y'all will blow up. So don't forget about us.
We're going to all blow up. All of us blow up.
Yeah. One last question though. This was just something that I wanted to know. How did you get your tagline? How did you come up with Miss Kumi?
I love that. My tagline is Kumi wa. In my language in Ghana, it means Kumi's here.
Okay.
Okay.
I love
Kumi's
that.
here.
Broken down, when you hear Kumi wa, it's Kumi wa. In our language, is waha. So she's here. She is here. So it means Kumi's here.
Ooh,
No better way to end it. Kumi's here, y'all. Go ahead, say it again.
Kumi wa. Come on.
Kumi waha.
Oh, Kumi waha.
Please let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can listen to your music.
Yes. So
please.
Everywhere, miss.kumi, how it's spelled, Kumi. So Miss Kumi everywhere, all social media platforms, all music platforms, and more music to come. So
Yes, we'll be looking forward to that. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Yes,
well,
thank you.
y'all, it's the end of the episode. This has been one of the best episodes I would say that we've had. Like, this was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Hope that y'all enjoyed it. You already know, follow us on all the things. We got the app formerly known as Twitter. We got YouTube. We have TikTok. We're putting out more content, y'all. We out here in the streets.
Check the reels. We in the streets. We outside.
And so we hope to connect with y'all. Talk to us. We talk back. Email Alma as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mad Music Podcast.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.